Hello, critical thinkers. We are live. Hope all is well. Just tonight is going to be a doozy. I'm not going to lie to you. Tonight is going to be a very tough night for me, giving you updates on what occurred with the Robert Brooks court case, and the 7 defendants that had their court dates yesterday and today. Let me go ahead and turn off this music. That's enough of that. Enough of that. So first and foremost, before we get into the news today, I have to do a little commercial as usual. Please do me a favor. Please like the stream, like the video, share the video when you have the opportunity. Share it now, in fact. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It greatly helps with the algorithm. So I thought a lot in terms of what I was going to say today and if I was going to hold back in terms of what I was feeling, right? And initially, when this case first started going to court, and we had the indictments initially, I was so upset with the bail amounts for these defendants, and then I felt that there would be no justice in this case. Then we had a couple of court dates. We had some plea offers, and I thought, okay, maybe we'll get some justice. Maybe we'll get some severe consequences or justice for the family of Robert Brooks. And but it's starting not to feel that way. It's really starting not to feel that way, and I will tell you why. Because we were privy to one of the plea deals being out in the public. For those of you who don't remember, I did a video on Anthony Fina, and Anthony Fina was offered 18 years, and people had their comments about that. So, his attorney scoffed at that number, and ultimately, yesterday, Anthony Fina turned down the plea offer. Okay, so all right, so let me tell you what this live stream is going to do. But first and foremost, I have to give a special thanks to Ann. Oh, sorry, that's not what I want to show. I want to give a special thank you to Ann Trower. I want to say thank you, Ann, for supporting the channel. Thank you for the super sticker. Really, really appreciate it. For those of you who don't know, we are 100% independently operated, and we don't take any money from corporations. This is a small YouTube channel, so your support really matters. And for those of you who can't support financially, that's fine. You can definitely support by liking the video, sharing it, and subscribing it. So thank you so much, Ann. I really appreciate it immensely. Thank you for the support. So going back to what I was saying before, in terms of what this stream is going to be and what it's not. This live stream tonight is going to be about going deeper than what the headlines is telling you. So I am going to show you the court proceedings in all 7 defendants. And just to let the cat out of the bag, we have 6 defendants who said, no, I'm not taking your plea offer, Mr. Fitzpatrick. Take your plea offer and shove it. And then we have a 7th individual, which is Gentile, who basically had a lesser charge. Ultimately, he ended up plea bargaining to a misdemeanor for attempted tampering with evidence. He is not going to do any jail time. He's getting 1 year conditional release, which basically means after 1 year, if he does not get in trouble, he won't have a criminal record. His misdemeanor will go away. So that's my understanding of what a conditional discharge is, a conditional release. So I'm going to go into the content now. So again, what's going to happen is I'm going to show you the court proceedings. I'm going to start with May 13th, which was yesterday. Yesterday, you will see Nicholas Kiefer, you will see Anthony Fina, and then you will see David Kingsley. Those are the 3 defendants who appeared in Oneida County Court on May 13th. So give me 1 second. I'm going to pull this up and share this video image with you. And by the way, one quick thing about the video, I will say, is that the audio is not that great on this video. This is not because of me. This is what is taken off of YouTube. So again, the audio quality of the audio value of the court proceeding is on the lower side. Okay, so you may want to put your volume up. I will try to speak softer so that once we transition from the video to my commentary, I'm not yelling in your ear, but sometimes I get passionate. I'm not able to lower my voice. Um, so just FYI, be cautious of that. Be cautious of the volume. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and play this. And again, this is the court proceedings from yesterday, May 13th. We had Nicholas Kiefer. We had the demon of the demons, Anthony Fina, and then you had David Kingsley. So you in this video, you'll be seeing 3 criminal defendants. Turn your headphones up, turn up the volume, because this may not be as loud. Just cautioning you. This video segment is about 6.5 minutes. I will try not to interrupt it as much, but you guys came here for commentary. I'm going to give it to you. For those of you who don't want any commentary whatsoever, no harm, no foul. I'm not offended. I have links in the description. If you just want to see the footage of these officers in court, so be it. But if not, I hope you stay here with me. Here we go.
Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning. Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning. All right, so this is the matter of the people against Nicholas Kiefer under indictment 25035. We adjourn this matter to today's date before we report on the people's pretrial offer, and then if not resolved, the filing of defense motions. Considering that I've now received your motions here, Mr. Longaretta, do I take it your client does not wish to accept the people's offer?
That's correct, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Kiefer, let me just go over this with you to make sure you understand, sir. What the people had proposed was that if you pled guilty to count 3 of this indictment, which charges you with a felony offense of gang assault in the 2nd degree, they're recommending a sentence of 12 years in state prison along with 5 years of post-release supervision.
Okay, so just listen to what Judge Bauer said. The offer that was initially given to Mr. Kiefer, to Nicholas Kiefer, was 12 years for gang assault in the 2nd degree. 12 years gang assault.
Waiver of appeal and mandatory state surcharges that would then satisfy the remaining counts against you that are contained in this indictment. And you face a higher charge than that which they've offered here, that is murder in the 2nd degree. If you're convicted of that higher offense, you could face as much as 25 years to life in state prison. Understanding your exposure and that I cannot promise you you'll see an offer this favorable again as we go forward. You want to reject that offer today? Yes, sir.
So you hear it, he's formally rejecting the offer. The judge is saying, the judge is doing his due diligence, has to say, we're making you this offer, or the district attorney has made you the offer. If you take this to trial, you're facing 25 to life.
Offer then as rejected and in receipt of the defense motions as previously set, will adjourn for the people's response to be filed by May 27th. Parties to return June 3rd for argument and decision with respect to those motions. Is there anything further than from either side?
Just on the record, Judge, I'm handing a copy of my motions to Mr. Wood for the people.
People acknowledge receipt, Your Honor, and we have nothing.
For those of you who didn't miss it, who may have missed it, his next court date is June 3rd.
Thank you. You're all set then, Mr. Longaretta?
Yeah, Judge, and I'm sorry, the return date, June 3rd, you said?
June 3rd.
June 3rd, okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, I'll see you all back here then.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So again, this is Nicholas Kiefer. He rejected the Fitzpatrick plea deal. He was facing, the plea deal was for 12 years, gang assault, second degree. And by the way, after seeing these two proceedings of yesterday and today, I kind of have a sense why the father of Robert Brooks is angry. For me, it's more insulting as we go later on in this live stream. You will hear the other plea deals that were offered to these defendants. Okay, now for those of you who don't know, this is Anthony Fina, correction officer, Marcy Correctional. He is seen on the Robert Brooks video stomping on the genitalia of Robert Brooks. He's also seen shoving a rag or a wipe. Some people are saying this is in dispute. He shoved some item of cloth down the mouth of Robert Brooks. So this is Anthony Fina. He was initially offered 18 years.
This is the matter of the people against Anthony Fina, indictment 25035. This matter was adjourned to today's date for report on the people's pretrial offer. The matter not resolved in the filing of defense motions. Where do you stand today, counsel?
Your Honor, I'm rejecting the offer and will file what you said.
All right, very good. Mr. Fina, again, let me go over this with you as well to make sure you understand, sir. What the people have proposed is that if you pled guilty to count one of this indictment that charges you with the felony offense of murder in the second degree, they're recommending a sentence of no worse than 18 years to life in state prison. That means that your exposure would be capped at 18 to life. It could be less, but the statutory minimum would be 15 to life, so it would be in a range between those time periods left to this court's discretion. There would also be a waiver of appeal and mandatory state surcharges. If you're convicted of that same offense after a trial, you could face as much as 25 years to life in state prison. Understanding your exposure and that you may not see an offer this favorable again as we go forward, you wish to reject the offer.
Yes, sir.
I'll mark the offer then as rejected. Counsel, please have your motions filed and served by the end of business today. The matter will be adjourned for filing the prosecution response by May 27th. The parties to return June 3rd, 9:30 a.m. for argument and decision with respect to those motions.
So Anthony Fina turned down the plea deal of 18 years. Judge Bauer mentioned that the minimum that he would have had to sentence him to would have been 15 years. So Anthony Fina has formally turned it down.
Is there anything further from either side?
Oh, and by the way, if you all can turn your volume up all the way, I know the volume is low on the court. The court video, the volume is low. I can barely hear it myself, so you may need to turn your volume all the way up. Unfortunately, this is just how the video is. So please turn your volume up, and hopefully that can help.
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Riotto?
No, Your Honor.
All right, we'll see all that June 3rd.
So we have one more defendant. We have David Kingsley coming up, who appeared yesterday in Oneida County Court. Okay, I'm going to fast forward it a bit. Here we have David Kingsley coming in. By the way, some people are saying that you can't hear it, so I'm going to stop it every so often just to let you know what's being said.
This is the matter of the people against David Kingsley, indicted 25035. This matter was adjourned to today's date for a report on the people's pretrial offer, if not resolved, in the filing of defense motions. What do you have to report today, Mr. English?
Your Honor, I have discussed the offer with Mr. Kingsley along with all his rights and options, exposure to the face of found guilty after trial. At this time, his
rejecting that offer.
So, Mr. Kingsley, what the people had proposed was if you pled guilty to count 1 of the indictment that charges you with a felony offense of murder in the 2nd degree, they are then recommending a sentence of no more than 18 years to life in state prison.
Okay, so Judge Bauer is just stating what the plea offer was for David Kingsley. The judge is stating that you were offered no more than 18 years in prison. So that was the offer that David Kingsley received, which he has rejected.
That means your exposure would be capped at 18 to life. It could be less, left to the discretion of this court, the statutory minimum being 15 to life in state prison. There would also be a waiver of appeal and mandatory state surcharges. If you're convicted after trial of this matter, you could face as much as 25 years to life in state prison. Understanding your exposure and that you may not see an offer this favorable again as we go forward, do you wish to reject that offer today?
I do, sir.
The offer will then be marked as rejected. I'll note for the record the court.
So here the judge is just stating the offer is formally rejected. He asked David Kingsley and his attorney again, are you rejecting the offer? Because you may get more time.
In receipt of the defense filed motions, so the matter will now be adjourned to May 27th for the filing of the prosecution response, with the parties to return June 3rd, 9:30 a.m. for argument and decision. Did you have anything further, Mr. Woodford?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Nabush?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
I'll see everyone back June 3rd. Thank you.
Okay, so that was Nicholas Kiefer, Anthony Farina, and David Kingsley. All 3 have rejected their plea deals. All 3 are coming back to court on June 3rd. So let me know what you guys think about these first 3 defendants. Let me know what you think. We have Powderfinger who says, I guess you were talking about David Kingsley, the choker, and then was trying to find Robert's pulse. From A to B says at Powderfinger, they must be hedging something, but I pray it backfires. So these defendants are surely taking a risk. They feel that they can take their risk and they might be found guilty of a lesser charge, and they might face less time. For example, Kingsley, who was facing 18 years, he may think that if he takes it to trial, he may not be found guilty of murder in the 2nd degree. They may find him guilty of a lesser charge, maybe gang assault, and he'll face less time. So, yeah. So the thing I want to do very quickly is if you guys can just do me a favor and write where you're watching from, that would be greatly appreciated. I am just going to go through a couple of quick comments, a couple of quick of the comments here in the chat, and then we'll move on to the next video, and then we'll see the next 4 defendants in terms of how they respond. We have K. Romanelli, disgusting. I agree. And Ann says that's just ridiculous. K. Romanelli says an ACD is crazy. So for those of you not familiar, that's the conditional discharge. So in the video upcoming, you'll see Gentile, correctional officer Gentile or Gentile, basically plead to a misdemeanor. He will get conditional discharge. Basically, he admitted to cleaning up the crime scene. He cleaned up the blood. He attempted to cover it up. He's not facing any jail time whatsoever. That for me is absolutely disgusting. It's disgusting. We have Luke's wife who says Anthony Farina has a nice sunglasses tan. Must be from the vacation he took, which is why he wanted to push his court date back. Probably. Luke's wife also says, where is Glenn Tromley? That's a very good question. We don't know where Glenn Tromley is. He has not been formally charged with anything. It's possible he might be a cooperating witness, but here's the thing. Glenn Tromley was the leader of Marcy's beat-up squad. He should have been charged. Why is Glenn Tromley, a supervisor, not being charged in this case. I don't understand this. He should have been charged. He should have been charged. Okay, I want to jump ahead to the next video. Now, this video that I'm going to pop up is from today's court proceeding. And this is the full recording from today's court date, in which we have actually we have four defendants here. We have Nicholas Gentile, which is the person who actually plea bargains and accepts responsibility and gets a conditional release. We have Michael Fisher, Michael Mashaw, and David Walters. So I'm going to go ahead and play this real quick. Just one quick thing. If everyone can please do me a big favor, please like the stream when you have a moment. It doesn't cost you anything to like it. Just tickle that like button or massage it or smash it, whatever you do. Share the live stream with people. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It greatly helps with the algorithm. So let's jump ahead to today's video, today's court appearance with Nicholas Gentile, Michael Fisher, Michael Mashaw, and David Walters. Now, pay close attention to what the initial plea deals, what they were initially offered in their pleas. Because for me, today's court session felt absolutely disgusting to me. So you let me know whether you think the plea deals sounded fair and reasonable. So here we go. By the way, put the volume up. I'm hoping this video is a little bit better. I want to thank you guys for hanging out, for staying around, because I know when the audio quality is not great, people tend to check out. So hopefully the audio quality here is better. The volume is higher. You'll be able to hear it. And let's continue.
For a report on the people's pretrial offer, and if the matter not resolved, then the filing of defense motions. Where do we stand today, Mr. Eisner?
We're rejecting the plea offer and prepared to file this motion.
All right, Mr. Fisher, let me go over this with you just to make sure you understand. So the people had proposed was that if you pled guilty to count 5 of this indictment that charges you with the felony offense of manslaughter in the second degree, they're then recommending a sentence of 3 to 9 years in state.
Okay, listen to this. So this is oh boy, this is David Walters. His plea deal was 3 to 9 years for the murder of Robert Brooks. 3 to 9 years. Does that sound fair to you? If this sounds fair to you, put yes in the chat. If it doesn't sound like a reasonable plea deal, put no in the chat. Okay. So putting either yes, that you think this is reasonable for this defendant, or it's a no.
Prison along with a waiver of appeal and mandatory state surcharges. If you are convicted after trial of that same offense, you face as much as 5 to 15 years in state prison. Understanding your exposure, that you may not see an offer this favorable again as we go forward, you wish to reject that today?
Yes, sir.
I'll mark the offer then as rejected. Counsel, as you said, your motions are due to be filed by the end of business today. The prosecution response will be filed by May 28th. Parties are then to return June 4th at 9:30 a.m. for argument and discussion.
So this defendant has to come back June 4th. So he's coming back for June 4th. There'll be some pre-trial motions that his attorney will file, but June 4th is the next court date.
Decision with respect to those motions. Is there anything further, Mr. Woodford?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Eisner?
Your Honor, I have the motions here that I can provide to the, I don't know if the clerk is here that I can file.
And again, Fitzpatrick offered this gentleman 3 to 9 years. 3 to 9 years. I see a lot of no's in the chat right now in terms of, people thinking that that was reasonable. We have Toby Hall saying absolutely no, WTF, behind the scenes BS. Yeah. We have Nona E828 saying hell no. Angel says no. Gloria says no. Justice for Aaron says no. Kim says no. Sharon says no. John says hell no. Is there anyone that says yes? Is there any yeses? I'm just seeing no's here.
Somewhat for effect went upstairs, but I have them here in a working copy for recording for Mr. Woodford.
Okay. The fourth floor, we can send them right down to the fourth floor. You can get those stamped in. You're welcome to serve your copy on the fourth floor.
We'll take receipt this morning.
Thank you. Move forward then. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
That could be he's waiting for a family member.
Michael Mayshaw.
All right, so this is Michael Mashaw.
Your Honor, good morning. Thomas Capezza on behalf of Mr. Mayshaw, who's present in the courtroom.
Good morning, Mr. President.
This is the matter of the people against Michael Mayshaw, indictment 25035. This matter was adjourned to today's date for a report on the people's pretrial offer. And if not resolved, then the filing of defense motions. Where do we stand today, Mr. Capezza? Your Honor, we respectfully decline the offer. We will file our motions today.
So he respectfully declines the offer. So we're seeing a theme here. Let's see what the judge is going to say in terms of what he was offered.
Mr. Mayshaw, I'll go over that with you now. What the people had proposed was that if you pled guilty to count 4 of this indictment that charges you with the felony offense of manslaughter in the second degree, they're then recommending a sentence of 4 to 12 years in state prison.
Okay, so the plea deal, the plea offer that Fitzpatrick gave him was manslaughter, second degree, 4 to 12 years. 4 to 12 years for killing Robert Brooks on camera. 4 to 12 years. Michael Mashaw. Do you think that's a reasonable plea deal to offer this defendant? Let me know your thoughts in the chat. Right, yes, if you think it was a reasonable plea deal, or right, no, 4 to 12. 4 to 12. And it's funny because Powderfinger says this is the guy snickered during the beating. That's absolutely correct. So if you think that's reasonable, right, yes. If you think no, put no in the chat. Put no in the chat.
Along with a waiver of appeal and mandatory state surcharges. If you're convicted after trial of that same offense, you face as much as 5 to 15 years in state prison. Understanding your exposure and that you may not see an offer this favorable again as we go forward, do you wish to reject that today?
Yes, Your Honor.
The offer is then marked as rejected. Mr. Capezza, your motions have been filed by the end of business today.
Yes, Your Honor.
The people's response is due May 28th. The parties are now to return June 4th, 9:30 a.m. for argument and decision.
So by the way, Michael Mashaw's next court date is June 4th. You have 3 defendants. Their court date's June 3rd. The remaining 3 are June 4th. Just FYI. As usual, I will be following this most likely on June 4th. I'll do a live stream to cover June 3rd and June 4th activity.
For those motions. The prosecution have anything further?
No, Your Honor.
How about you, Mr. Capezza?
Nothing here further, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll see y'all back June 4th.
All right, that's Michael Fisher in the back.
Louis Gentile.
Your Honor, may we approach?
So this is Nicholas Gentile. We did not learn about this correction officer until the day of the indictments. His name did not come up earlier. He was charged with tampering with evidence, which I believe was a felony. So this session of the video is going to take a little bit longer because he's actually going to plea out and get his sentence on the spot. So this will be a little bit longer. I will stop it at a couple of key points. Hopefully you guys are going to be able to hear this.
Please come on up.
I'm going to fast forward a little bit. You're having a little sidebar action. Okay. All right, come on. Let's fast forward to the action. Okay.
Position.
Oh. Okay.
Is that all? All right, this is the matter of the people against Nicholas Gentile under indictment 25035. We adjourn this matter to today's date for a report as to a possible disposition. It's my understanding that the parties have now arrived at an agreed upon disposition. I'll state my understanding of that proposal. That the defendant will be pleading guilty to the reduced charge, a misdemeanor offense of attempted tampering with physical evidence.
Just to interrupt for a second, the Judge Bauer said he's pleading guilty to a misdemeanor attempted tampering with evidence. He's pleading guilty to attempted tampering with evidence.
The sentence will then be a 1-year conditional discharge requiring the defendant to entirely resign his employment with the Department of Corrections.
Now, a 1-year conditional discharge, and also he has the condition that he also must resign from New York State docks. Now, I can't tell you the research, all the research that I've done, in which you've had plea bargains and you have correction officers who get away almost scot-free with beatings of incarcerated individuals, and they make this part of the plea deal that they must also resign from docks. You would think docks would have the ability to terminate their own COs, but they don't.
Later than June 1st of this year, and to maintain that resignation and to otherwise obey all laws, state, federal, and local. There will also be a waiver of appeal as well as mandatory state surcharges. Is that people's understanding?
Yes, Your Honor.
And counsel, is that your understanding? Mr. Gentile, is that your understanding of the proposal, and is that what you want to do here today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Please raise your right hand. You not swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
You may put your hand down. Mr. Gentile, have you spoken with your lawyer about your case, about pleading guilty and thereby waiving your right to have a jury trial?
Yes, I have.
Are you satisfied with the services of your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you entering your plea of guilty today freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Is anyone in any way forcing you to plead guilty today?
No, sir.
Other than the sentence promise I spoke of earlier, has anyone made any other promises to get you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you're waiving your right to have a jury trial where you would have the right to confront and cross-examine witnesses, and you would also have the right to remain silent and not incriminate yourself?
Yes, sir.
You are a citizen of the United States, correct?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Woodford, did you then have a motion to reduce count 8 of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor. People move to amend count 8 to attend.
Now, just a quick thing. Do me a favor. If you believe Nicholas Gentile getting a 1-year conditional release pleading guilty to a misdemeanor. And by the way, after that 1 year of conditional release, he won't have a misdemeanor on his record. If you think this is adequate, this is an adequate plea deal, write yes in the chat. If not, write no. Write yes in the chat if you think that's adequate, or write no. There was a comment in the chat that somebody put down, saying that, it gives the impression that if you're a CO and you partake in this and you clean up, that you're able to get away with it scot-free. And that's what it feels like to me, that there is no justice. Like he should have done jail time. A man is dead. I feel like if there were a situation with animals or dogs and the ASPCA got involved, there'd be more hoopla. There are people who get convicted of harming animals that get more time than this. This seems absolutely like crap. Just if you think that's appropriate, write yes. If you think it's not appropriate, write no in the chat now.
Tampering with physical evidence.
No objection. No objection. The motion is then conditionally granted. Mr. Gentile, as amended under count 8, you're now charged with the misdemeanor offense of attempted tampering with physical evidence. That is penal law sections 110.00 and 215.40 subdivision 2. As amended, it's now alleged that on or about December 9th of 2024, while you were in the town of Marcy here in Oneida County, believing that certain physical evidence was about to be produced or used in an official proceeding or a prospective official proceeding, and intending to prevent such production or use, you attempted to suppress that by an act of concealment, alteration, or destruction. Specifically, knowing that an assault had taken place on incarcerated individual Robert Brooks, and aware that such assault was likely an unauthorized use of force by your fellow corrections officers, you cleaned the area of Robert Brooks' bloodstains in an attempted effort to conceal the evidence of that assault. You admit that to be true? Yes, sir.
He admitted to concealing evidence of the assault of the murder. 1 year conditional discharge, no jail time. He had no bail. He was ROR. Somebody make it make sense to me, because this is not making sense in any sense of the word. This does not make any sense.
Do you want anything further for the allocution?
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Mr. Gentile, on December 9th, 2024, were you employed in the Department of Corrections at Marcy Correctional Facility?
And by the way, my apologies. I don't have the name of this special prosecutor here, the African-American gentleman with the glasses, but I heard him speak after. He did do an interview attempting to justify why they gave him a year conditional release. It sounded like absolute BS, absolute hogwash. And I am going to try to find that clip. So be patient with me. I'll try to pull him up.
Yes, sir. And on that date, did you clean blood that belonged to Mr. Robert Brooks in the Arsenal area? Yes, sir. And were you aware that that blood was involved in assault with your fellow corrections officer when you cleaned that blood? Yes.
So he's saying yes to all these questions. He knew exactly what the F he was doing. He knew what he was doing. He knew he was covering up a murder.
And did you fail to document that you cleaned that blood in that area on that date? Yes. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Gentile, as to that amended 8th count, attempted tampering with physical evidence, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty? Yep. Lastly, Mr. Gentile, part of your negotiated plea here does require that you waive your right to appeal. As a defendant in this court, if convicted, you have a separate and distinct right to appeal a judgment of conviction to a higher court in Rochester known as the Appellate Division. There you can, with your attorney, and a free one if you cannot afford it. You could file a brief and argue before that court that there exists some problem with your conviction here in this court. That is a right you have. It's also a right you can waive or give up, and it is being required that you waive your right to appeal on condition I give you the sentence promised to you. That means your conviction and sentence in this court will likely be final, so there's then little you can do to go back after the fact to try to change that. You will have thereby significantly limited your options for appeal in the future. You understand? Yes, sir.
And I think Sunset has the right terminology. He is an accessory to murder. He is an accessory to murder. No jail time, a misdemeanor conviction, which will be erased after 1 year. This doesn't make any sense.
Have you spoken with your attorney now about waiving your right to appeal? Yes, sir. Do you then agree to waive your right to appeal on condition I give you the sentence promise? Yes, sir. And are you doing so voluntarily? Yes, sir. I'm holding up for you a document entitled Waiver of Right to Appeal. Halfway down the page, I see the signature, Nicholas Gentile. Did you sign this document here after reviewing it with your attorney? Yes, sir. Based upon the defendant's statements and his demeanor here in court, I find a knowing voluntary plea with a factual basis. I will direct the court to enter the plea into the minutes of this court. If both sides are in agreement, we can proceed with sentencing. People so move sentence.
People so move, Your Honor.
Would you like to be heard at all?
No, Your Honor.
Counsel, did you want to be heard regarding sentencing?
No, other than we ask that the court follow the agreed upon disposition.
Pass over the order for DNA sample. And we need copies of both. Mr. Gentile.
Okay, I think I'm just gonna fucking stop it because I'm like disgusted at what the hell I'm watching here. So I'm just gonna fast forward. The guy, 1 year conditional release, conditional discharge, misdemeanor conviction, which will be erased after a year. Let's just jump to the next gentleman. Okay. Oh, and by the way, just a little quick commercial. Right now we have about 90 people in the chat. Thank you all 90 for being here. If you guys can please do me a quick favor, please like the video, like the stream. It will greatly help with the algorithm. YouTube does not push out this type of content. YouTube is not pushing out this type of content. This is truly a grassroots movement, meaning that all the views that I do get is from people that actually care about seeing justice, people that want to be connected to the news and want the follow-ups and want the deep dive. So if y'all could please do me a favor, if you can just give me a like so that it will help with the algorithm, that will be greatly appreciated. Now we're at about 91 people on. If I can get the likes to about 75, that would be greatly appreciated. So please just take a second, tickle that like button, smash it, whatever you do, just do it now. Thank you.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. This is the matter of the people against David Walters under indictment 25035. This matter was adjourned to today's date for a report on the people's pretrial offer. If not resolved, then the filing of defense motions. Where do we stand today, Mr. Passalot?
With regard to the people's offer, with regard to my client, the same is respectfully rejected at this time.
All right. Let me go over that with you, Mr. Walters, to make sure you understand, sir. What the people had proposed was if you pled guilty to count 6 of this indictment, that charges you with a felony offense of manslaughter in the 2nd degree. They're recommending a sentence of 3 to 9 years in state.
Okay, so this was his plea offer was manslaughter in the 2nd degree, 3 to 9 years. 3 to 9 years. Do me a favor again. I need to know if you think this was appropriate. That Fitzpatrick offered him an appropriate plea. Write yes in the chat. If not, write no in the chat. Please do me that favor. I just make it make sense for me. Like, I need to know that I'm not crazy because this does not seem like an appropriate plea offer. Write yes or write no.
Prison, along with a waiver of appeal and mandatory state surcharges. If you're convicted of that same offense after trial, you could face as much as 5 to 15 years in state prison. Understanding your exposure, that you may not see an offer this favorable again as we go forward, you wish to accept or reject the offer today?
Rejected, sir.
I'll mark the offer then as rejected. And Counsel, I know you'd expressed concerns about some recently received discovery, and we're asking for some additional time for your motions with the clarification from the prosecution. Is that still necessary?
Yes, I believe the clarification was otherwise inaccurate. Mr. Hudson had indicated to the court that the additional discovery dumps, 2 of which occurred on May 1st, after my last appearance with my client in this matter, totaled 174 pages. The total page count actually of those 2 dumps totaled 430 pages. Additionally, we finally received the video audit trail logs that confirmed the total hours of video that were dumped from the body cams in question. The total being 71 hours, 25 minutes and change, which we have just as of yesterday cross-referenced with the actual videos disclosed to confirm that was accurate. So we would be respectfully requesting any extension the court would feel inclined to grant to just finish finalizing.
All right, so take a look at this correctional officer. 3 to 9 years. Do you think that's appropriate for what he did to Robert Brooks? 3 to 9 years. Yes or no? You guys let me know. So I think I'm going to stop the video there. We went through all 7. We went through all 7 defendants, and let me pull this out. Okay, so we went through all 7 defendants. 6 defendants have said, no, Fitzpatrick, take your plea deal and shove it, okay? Now, we had one that took his plea deal and got 1-year conditional release. That's Nicholas Gentile. He pled out to a misdemeanor of attempted tampering with evidence. And for those of you who don't know, we have 2 more correction officers. They have court dates on May 19th. So mark your calendars, May 19th. I will most certainly be doing another live stream. May 19th, we have Nicholas Angelone and we have Matthew Gallagher. So on May 19th, we have court dates, and we will find out if Nicholas Angelone and Matthew Gallagher. Nicholas Angelone is a name that is infamous. He's in several civil suits. He's been involved in many civil suits of beating incarcerated individuals. So like all of these guys, this is not anything new to any of these correction officers. So I put in the chat the link if you want to come on and connect with me and chit chat with me. This afternoon, I did a little short in which I told people, I mean, honestly, I really want to hear from you. Like this live stream, it's not about me. It's about you guys, because you guys want the news. You guys want to be updated. You guys want to be involved and find out what's happening. So I would love to hear from you. Like that would give me the warm and fuzzies. If somebody wants to come on and chit chat with me and let me know your thoughts about whether you think any of this is fair. We actually have a comment from Elizabeth Miller. Elizabeth says, this is so disgusting, not even really a punishment for killing someone. Yeah, these plea deals they seem very low to me. The 1-year conditional discharge, conditional release it truly seems like a slap in the face. It truly does. So I put the link in the chat if you want to come on and connect with me, chit chat with me. The only conditions that I do have is that you have to be able to show your face. You have to have no loud music in the back, so that I don't get any copyright strikes, and be respectful. And honestly, if you have a difference of opinion, I value having conversations more with people who disagree with me rather than people who do agree with me. So if you disagree, if you think this is fair, if there's some information that you know that I do not know, listen, I'm open to hearing it. So the link is in the chat. Again, I'm going to give everyone a couple minutes. if anybody wants to come on, once you click on the link and you share your camera and your audio, it's going to say enter studio, and you have to click on enter studio for you to be able to come on so that I can see you and pull you up. Okay, so if you do want to come on, share your mic, your camera, and click on enter studio in StreamYard so that you'll be able to come on and I'll be able to see you. Okay. So we have Toby. Toby Hall says, "What's the reason the FBI isn't in on this?" So that's a good point, because we do know that there was the potential for federal charges. I have not heard anything about federal prosecution, and this makes me think of what the special prosecutor said, Bill Fitzpatrick. He said that he doesn't speak on behalf of the federal government, but that he's advocating that these plea deals satisfy any potential federal prosecution. That for me, it seems insulting as well. It seems very, very insulting. Um, So we have Luke's wife says the district attorney did state he talked with the Justice Department and they were on with the plea deals. So at this point, 6 of these defendants have not accepted the plea deals. Can the federal government step in, arrest these SOBs for murder? And maybe they may have a better chance at prosecution. They they may have a better chance of securing convictions. Now, for those 6 defendants who are going to trial, what do you think is the possibility that they will be convicted in Oneida County? Do you think they'll be convicted? Do me a favor, write convict in the chat. If you believe that they'll be acquitted, write acquit in the chat. We got somebody in the back. We have Kayla. Kayla, I see you. I'm going to bring you up. Give me one quick second. Kayla.
Hello. So I did time in prison, and people get way more time for way lesser sentences, like way lesser crimes. I got 4 years for drug possession. My husband
4
got
years for
6
drug
years
possession?
for drug
Wow.
possession. Like,
Mm,
it's disgusting. It's a slap in the face to
mm.
everyone.
Yeah. So,
They took someone's life.
they did. So, by any chance, do you live in upstate New York? Are you in that area? Just out of curiosity.
I live in the Bronx.
Oh, you live in the Bronx. Okay. So my question for you, Kayla, is: do you think that a jury is going to convict these guys for the murder of Robert Brooks?
I don't see how with the video they couldn't.
Okay. So you are hopeful that they will be convicted.
I'm hopeful. I just hope that there's not some technicality.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I'm
I think so.
concerned about.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I have some concerns because I think there was a time months ago when this first happened. One of the attorneys spoke about having the body cam footage not allowed into evidence. So that came up before. So these defense attorneys will do everything in their power to exclude, pieces of evidence, and that includes the cameras, the body cams. So
Truly disgusting.
yeah. Okay, so everyone, Kayla's hopeful. Kayla believes that there will be convictions for these 6 correction officers. Kayla, I truly believe you're right. I hope so. I
I
really hope
mean,
so.
the one Walraith, I think was his name, took the plea deal, so obviously he
Yes.
was worried.
Yeah, and he was definitely worried, and I think he made the smart decision of taking that, because that's an awful risk, because if these guys do get convicted, they're facing 25 to life.
And I hope they get every minute of it.
I agree. I agree. Is there anything else you want to tell the people, Kayla?
Um, Keep calling your elected officials, put pressure on to make sure that this injustice doesn't go, unanswered for, and make sure that we stay loud and stay informed and stay connected, because we are the people of New York. It's our case against them, and your voice can make a difference
Absolutely.
and save
All
another
right.
family from going through the same thing.
All right, Kayla, thank you for coming on so much, and have a great night, okay? Thank you.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, that was Kayla. So do you guys believe, so are you guys optimistic that we will have convictions for these 6 defendants? Do you think a jury of their peers will convict them of these top charges? Do you think they will be convicted of lesser charges? Let me know what you believe in the comments section. I am going to give people like another 2 minutes to come on. If somebody else wants to come on and give me their opinion and chit chat, I would love to hear it. So for now, just a quick commercial. If everyone can please do me a favor, like the stream, like the video, share it with people who need to learn about what's happening in the New York State correctional system. It is atrocities occurring. You have correction officers that have been brutalizing incarcerated individuals for decades, and this is the first time that this was caught on body camera. But you have hundreds of other men who have been brutalized. Many have been murdered. Many have been murdered. So we have to keep spreading the word. We have to keep getting the word out there, and we have to keep following this case. Don't forget about Robert Brooks. It's easy to go on with your life, to move on, and I know we have responsibilities. We have to stay connected to these news stories. So, if you don't follow me, that's okay. Just follow the story, stay connected, and talk to people about what's going on. Um, Okay, so I think we don't have anyone else in the back to come on, so I am going to close this out. I think we've been on for about an hour, and again, as I say in every stream, but before that, I want to give it another thanks again to our stream sponsor, who is Ann Twower with the super sticker. And thank you so much for being a sponsor of the live stream. Thank you for your support. I greatly appreciate it. It really helps. And for those of you, if you can like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it. As I state in every one of my videos, my goal is to go deeper than what the mainstream media is telling and sharing with you. Take care, God bless, and see you next time. By the way, May 19th is the next court date for Nicholas Angelone and Matthew Gallagher. May 19th, Nicholas Angelone and Matthew Gallagher. I may do another live stream before May 19th, but just place that on your calendars. Okay? Take care, God bless, and see you next time. Bye-bye.